What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Keffer Volkswagen and we're going to take a look at the 2021 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. So huge shout out to them for providing this vehicle for me today. They are Carolina's VW power dealer, so definitely check them out. All their information is down in the description below. The Atlas that you see behind me is finished off in Aurora Red Metallic and it has an MSRP just over $50,000. But we're going to start off today's review with what powers this Atlas. Up underneath the hood is a 3.6 liter V6 engine paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 276 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. It is all-wheel drive, weighs in right around 4,300 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in the mid 7-second range up to its top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 19.5 gallons, and you can expect to see around 19 miles per gallon in the city and 23 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 117.3 inches. Its overall length is 195.5. It has a width of 78.4, a height of 68.2, and its ground clearance measures in at 8 inches. As we work our way to the exterior now for this Atlas, I'm going to start off with the headlight housings. So this model has LED headlights, LED DRLs, and LED turn signals. You'll notice that the DRLs have a really nice L shape to them just underneath the headlight and the high beam, along with the turn signal in the lower section. And it's really nice how the headlights flow nicely with the grille. You'll see this chrome trim piece on the top section of the housing flowing nicely to the top section of the grille, where there's also 2 other chrome bars. You can see there's plenty of cutouts to provide maximum cooling to this engine. And then on the lower section, you'll see this gloss black trim piece just to tie it in nicely. You'll also notice too that there's really nice contoured lines running throughout the middle section of this bumper. Where you'll see on both sides are functional air inlets, so that will help provide better aerodynamics for this model. And then right in the center, you'll also notice this has an integrated forward-facing camera to provide better visibility for up front, along with all the parking sensors that are nicely integrated in the lower section. Where you'll also notice too, we have another trim piece just to break it up, along with more mesh to provide extra cooling. And then as we finish up with the hood here, you can see the distinctive lines running down it to give it a great look. As we work our way to the side profile now for this Cross Sport, I'm going to start off with these wheels. So we have a really nice set of 20-inch wheels. They measure 8 inches wide. You can see they have a 5 split spoke design to them, along with a 2-tone finish, which looks really good against this exterior red. You'll also notice too that we have a Cross Sport badge with some more chrome trim surrounding it. This does have power folding side mirrors that are body colored. You can see the integrated turn signal along with a camera underneath each one, and I'll show that camera system later on in today's video. This model also has a full moonroof, so you'll see that up top along with the roof rails. There's more chrome trim surrounding the windows, along with down in the lower section of the door. You'll also notice too that we have the trim surrounding the fenders along with the lower side skirts. And then my favorite part is the side profile for this Atlas. We have very crisp lines. You can see there's one in this front quarter panel here. Great lines just underneath the side mirrors and running right through the middle and lower section of the door. And then you'll also notice the line just through the gas cap and the rear fender arch. And last up for this Atlas, you'll notice that it has a body colored spoiler with the integrated third brake light. The wiper blade is mounted in the lower section of the glass to help better improve rear facing visibility. And you'll also notice too, with the steep rake that this rear glass has, it doesn't hinder your rear facing visibility from the driver's seat, which you'll see later in today's video. This model also has LED taillights. They have a really nice crisp line on them that flows nicely from the side profile, bringing it to the back. You'll also notice there's a chrome trim piece running right through the middle of the power liftgate, where we have a backup camera. All the parking sensors are down in the lower section, where you'll see more chrome trim, and this also has a towing capacity up to 5,000 pounds. Before we take a look at the interior, this model does have remote start, so if I lock it and double tap this button on the key fob, it will automatically start up, which is a really nice feature to see. If you do need to shut the vehicle off for whatever reason, you can double tap that button again. But now with the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket, all I have to do is place my hand on the door handle. You will see the side mirrors fold open as well. And now we can move on to this door panel, where you'll see there's a 2-tone design with really nice white stitching. We have leather on the armrest. You can see all the window controls, which are automatic up and down for front and rear. We have the side mirror adjustments just in front of that, along with brushed aluminum on the release handle. You can see lock and unlock along with the Fender audio sound system. There's also a really nice trim piece surrounding all of those controls in the upper section. And then down below, you'll see the power liftgate release along with 1 speaker and a good amount of storage space in the lower section of the door. And then as we work our way to the interior now, you can see the 2-tone design for these leather seats. They are heated and ventilated as well. Have a really nice design running down the insert along with the bolsters and the white stitching. And then down on the sides, you'll also notice the memory seating adjustments along with all the automatic controls. And now that we're inside with my foot on the brake, it's time to start it up. And looking at the virtual cockpit now, you can see there's a large LCD screen that provides a lot of information that you can go through. Over on the left side though, you'll see the engine temperature. On the right side is the fuel gauge. And then to control that middle screen, we have all of those over on the right side of the steering wheel here. So right now you can see the navigation. You can also see your range until empty, along with your average MPG. Running across the top, you have the outside temperature along with the clock. If I scroll over one, you can pull up the audio. You can also look at your phone when that is hooked up and paired. You can pull up vehicle status to look through, along with various MPG and miles per hour readouts. So you can look at all of those, along with engine temperature, your trip and economy, along with an overview and your range. You can also scroll over and pull up your range in full screen there, along with the assistance systems, and then we're back to the navigation. You can, however, though, push on the view button, and by doing that, you can pull up the TAC on the left side, your miles per hour on the right side, and you can still scroll through all of that information that I just showed. So if there's something like the navigation that you want to pull up in full screen, it makes it very easy to minimize those on the bottom right there, along with what gear you're in over on the left side. So you can see all of that information clearly in front of you. And now as we work our way to the steering wheel, you'll see it's completely covered in solid leather with white stitching running along the inside. Really nice brushed aluminum trim piece surrounding the steering wheel as well. Also over on the right side, you'll see voice commands along with tuning and the heated steering wheel control. And then over on the left side, we have all the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings along with volume for the radio. And then as we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see there's a little bit of storage in the lower section along with the headlight controls. There's also one air vent. And as we work our way to the middle, there's a little bit of storage in the dash there. And just below that is the 8-inch touchscreen system. So right now we are on menu, which basically shows you your radio, your phone. You can pull up the navigation on this screen if you'd like to. If I just click on menu, we're back to this screen here where you can go into sound, vehicle. You can look at your assistance systems, your climate controls, different settings and everything like that. You'll also notice over on the left side are shortcuts to radio and media. We have power and volume for the radio along with phone and voice commands. And then over on the right side is navigation and apps along with tuning. You can also go into car as well and look at your vehicle status. You can pull up your TPMS, different off-road settings to monitor as well. So you have your pitch and roll along with the steering degrees for your wheel, which is really nice to be able to see so you can monitor all of that information. It's a really nice system to use and offers a lot. And then you'll also notice there's an air vent on both sides of that. And working our way down below now, we have all the climate controls. Very easy to go through the system. We have temperature for driver, temperature for passenger, along with a small LCD screen. So you don't have to view that in the upper screen if you don't want to. We have it clearly labeled down below. You'll also notice the heated and ventilated seat controls, along with where you like the air to go. Fan speed is right in the center. Working our way below that, you'll see traction control, along with the wireless charging port. Really nice amount of storage space for your phone or other smaller items. You'll also notice there's some auxiliaries and a 12 volt if you need to use those. And then making our way to the shifter now. If I just pull the release up front, we can go into reverse. And now you can see the backup camera up here with all the guidelines. And then if you'd like to see the rest of the camera system, you can actually use this shortcut button here, along with putting the vehicle into drive. And then if we push on this button here, you can see the top-down view. Obviously, I'm really close to the curb in the front there, but it's really nice to be able to see that 360-degree camera system. You'll also notice there's two cup holders over on the right side. We have the engine start-stop button along with the electronic parking brake. We have that shortcut to the camera system. This also has a parallel parking feature. So just by pushing on that, the screen will tell you to put your turn signal on and shift into reverse. So once it's found a spot, it will assist you in parallel parking. Really nice feature to see. And then we also have all the different driving modes. So by using this dial, you can go between eco, normal, sport, and custom. There's also a snow mode that you can go into, as well as two different off-road settings that you can customize. So it's really nice to be able to go through all of that information. And then working our way behind that, you'll see the armrest is finished off in leather, and we have a ton of storage for any items you'd like to place in there. As we work our way to the glove box now, you'll see there's a lot more room for all of that information too. We'll take one last look at these seats, which have a really nice design to them. And then as I mentioned earlier, this does have a full panoramic sunroof, so we can use this button up top to go ahead and open up the sunshade the rest of the way. And you'll see that provides a lot of lighting for the interior. So we have those controls as well as being able to adjust the sunroof, and the dome lights are up here as well. Now that I'm in the back seats for this Atlas, I'm gonna start off with the amount of room that I have. So I'm 5'10", I have the front seat set at my height. I can almost extend my legs all the way. There's that much space for my legs and my knees. I have around 2 or 3 inches above my head. I can improve that just a little bit by reclining the seat all the way back. which just gives me a very comfortable seating position. So I could be back here for a long period of time, easily have 2 other people with me if I need to. These outer seats are also heated too. So we have those controls right in the middle, along with 2 air vents. You can see there's 2 USB ports, so you can charge any electronics you may have. There's also some storage pockets behind both front seats. We have plenty of room in the lower section of the door if you need to use it. And then right in the middle here, we do have the armrest along with 2 cup holders if you need to use that. And these backrests fold down as well. They have a 60-40 split to them. By folding them down, you improve your rear storage significantly, making it very versatile. And last up, it's time to take a look at the rear storage space. So if I just hold the button on the key fob, the power liftgate will automatically open up. And you can see, even with the back seats up, there is plenty of room. This is a very deep area, so you can put in a lot of items if you need to. Over on the driver's side, you'll see there's a small compartment along with a 12 volt. And then over on the passenger side, a little bit more room if you need to use that. There's also the fare up underneath and a little bit of hidden storage if you need to use that area too. There's also a spot where you can put a cover so you can hide any items in the back if you'd like to. And then by folding those rear seats down, you can see just how much more storage there is, making this a very practical daily driver. You can stuff it full of items if you need to, which is really great to see. And then being the power lift gate, we can just push this button up top and it will automatically close. All right, so getting behind the wheel of the 2021 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. It's been a while since I've been behind the wheel of the Atlas, so getting behind the wheel of the Cross Sport, it's essentially the same vehicle. There's a few minor changes here and there. You already saw earlier that rear glass has more of a steep rake to it, just to give it more of a sporty design, and it also doesn't have that 3rd row. So if you're looking for a larger vehicle, you need all that extra storage behind the back seats. It definitely has plenty of room. As you already saw with the back seats folded down too, you can put pretty much anything you want in the back seats, and this has a towing capacity around 5,000 pounds. So it's a very versatile daily driver if you need something that can tow. So you can also have that extra interior storage without having that 3rd row, just to have a little bit larger of a vehicle. So it's really nice how they've packaged that in the Cross Sport and giving it more of that sporty design. Also with the Cross Sport 2, we have the different driving modes that I showed earlier. So by putting it into sport mode now, we can also put the shifter down into S and use that to shift if we'd like to. And it's not incredibly quick, but we're getting up to the speed limit just like that. If you need to use the shifter here, if you're towing, you want to hold it in a gear yourself, you can do that if you need to. So you can definitely get up and move in this vehicle. So it's nice to have those different driving modes. It's also really nice to have the off-road settings too. So it's really nice with that 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. You have the capabilities of taking this off-road. You can go on gravel, dirt, whatever terrain it may be. So it just adds to the daily drivingness of this vehicle, being able to drive it in different terrain situations and inclement weather and situations like that. But now as we move on to the interior here, this has a really nice layout. I love the leather steering wheel. We have the 2-tone seats, which are also heated and ventilated. So on a hot day like it is today, ventilated seats is definitely a must. Really nice infotainment system that's easy to go through. And I love how there's not a whole lot of buttons, so it makes this center area very user-friendly and easy to go through. But we'll give it a little bit more gas just in normal mode here by itself. And we're up to the speed limit just like that, not doing anything too crazy. And now moving on to the overall visibility for the Cross Sport. As I mentioned earlier, with that steeply raked rear glass, from the driver's seat here, I can actually see perfectly out of that glass, so that it doesn't hinder your visibility having that steep rake to it, and it also gives it that sporty design as I mentioned. While looking over my right shoulder, it's really easy to see out of that direction too. Pillar's not all that bulky, so it gives you a good 360 view. And we have that camera system as I showed, so you basically have no blind spots around this entire vehicle, which is great to see. And one thing that I also noticed too, looking over my right shoulder there, is the fact that the backseat passengers have the manual sunshades, so you can raise and lower those just to make it a little bit more comfortable for your backseat passengers, which, as you already saw, plenty of space for 3 people to be back there comfortably, along with having the heated seat option. So this is definitely a very nice daily driver. It's very comfortable on the inside. I don't have any complaints with its suspension. It's absorbing all these bumps very well. You can't hear road noise, wind noise, anything like that. So that just adds to being able to drive this on a daily basis. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2021 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Once again, huge shout out to Keffer Volkswagen for providing this vehicle for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. I'll have that down in the description below. They are Carolina's Volkswagen power dealer, so definitely check them out. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date on our daily uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.